Welcome to this presentation of Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio. And now, here's the voice of the Cougars, Reagan Cleaves.
Hello and welcome. It's opening night hockey live from Jenison, Michigan as the Cougars travel across town to take on their OKRU foes, the Bulldogs. Hello and welcome alongside statistician Gabe Groh and color commentator David Shamblin. My name is Reagan Cleaves and we are excited to bring you all the action of tonight's contest between your Catholic Central Cougars and the Grandville Bulldogs. We would like to extend a special thanks to Mr. Mike Hetkowski for allowing us the opportunity to broadcast this game. Before we take a look at tonight's game, however, we have to look at the season ahead for Catholic Central. During this 2019-20 campaign, Coach Slobodnik's 10th at the helm, the Cougars will play a total of 26 games, 13 of which will be considered road. Their longest homestand is 5 games, while their longest road trip is 4. The schedule ranks among the toughest in the 45-year history of the team, including teams like East Grand Rapids, Flint Powers, and Byron Center, as well as Cleveland St. Ignatius, the latter of which has won the Ohio State Championship 4 years in a row. Now I send it to the second member of our team, David Shamblin, to take an in-depth look at the Cougars roster. David?
Thanks, Reagan. The roster this year is made up of 7 seniors, 7 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. The veterans for the Cougars consist of number 1, Lucas Chalfoun, number 7, Harvey Holloman, number 8, Ben Clay, number 9, Nathan Rubline, number 10, Kevin Patterson, number 12, Jacob Onstadt, number 13, Ryan Rollins, number 15, Gabe Groh, number 19, Zach Grabowski, number 22, Trevor Rubline, number 26, Kimball Sullivan, and number 41, Ryan McClellan. And for the new guys, they are number 2, Andrew Warmuth, number 11, Shane Kwiatkowski, number 16, Drew Shively, number 18, Danny McIntyre, number 20, Cameron Beechler, number 28, Grant Quakendall, and number 31, Dane Schweigert. Now I'll send it back over to Reagan.
Thanks, David. Although it is opening night, the Cougars have already taken the ice this year in a scrimmage against the University of Detroit Jesuit Cubs last Saturday. They ended up tying 2-2, and Lucas Chalfoun and Ryan McClellan both made appearances in net for the Cougars. Now let's move on to a preview of tonight's game. The Cougars are coming off a year in which they posted a 14-10-1 record on their way to an OKRU championship. Their year ended on a low note, however, as they fell to the East Grand Rapids Pioneers by a score of 5-4 in the regional semifinals.
On the other hand, Grandville last year went 7-17 and made the playoffs by the slimmest of margins. Unfortunately, they were paired up against the Byron Center Bulldogs, to whom they had previously lost 5-3. They did not fare much better the second go-around as they fell by a score of 3-1. We'll send it back over to Reagan with the scratches.
2 notable scratches for the Cougars as they are without both Gabe Silva and Nate Rubline. Both are out with upper body injuries. Players to watch tonight for the Cougars: Jacob Onstadt, who tallied 15 goals and 24 assists last season, and for the Bulldogs, listen for Andrew Utero, who tallied 11 goals and 7 assists with 18 points last year. Well, that pregame show brought us right up to the beginning of the game as they will not zam the ice between warm-ups and the start of the game, it looks like. So Cougars here in this first period will go from left to right on your radio dial, while the Bulldogs will go from right to left. We will actually take a short break here, and then we'll come back for the national anthems and starting lineups here on Cougar Puck Radio.
Do you really want to study for that exam? Listening to Cougar Hockey is a much better option. You're listening to Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleaves welcoming you back here inside the broadcast booth, along with David Shenlin. Starting goaltenders tonight for your Cougars, they send out Ryan McClellan. Last year he played 18 games, posted a record of 11-6, goals against average of .258 and a save percentage of .880. For the Bulldogs, they send out Caden Fisher. He played well over a majority of the games last year for the Bulldogs. He posted a record of 2-7 and had a goals against average of .347 and a save of .903. So, Cougars will go from left to right here in this first period, wearing their road blue uniforms, white shoulders, and yellow and white stripes. The Bulldogs will go from right to left, wearing their white home uniforms with maroon shoulders and maroon trim on the sides. Starting lineups, Cougars send out Holloman, Patterson, Kwiatkowski, McIntyre, and Grabowski, while the Bulldogs counter with Pratt, Uchiro, Pullman, Rosema, and Dubnik. We've got 17 minutes on the clock here at Griff's Georgetown. Referees ready, goaltenders ready. Play at center, and we are underway here in the 2019-20 campaign. Bulldogs control, dump it all the way down the ice. Icing will be called just 7 seconds here into the first. Draw will come all the way back into the Grandville zone to the right of Caden Fisher. There's something you don't see very often in any level of hockey. The Bulldogs have named Caden Fisher as their captain. Draw in the offensive zone won by the Cougars. Here's Grabowski battling forward along the left wing. That squirts free behind the net. Wilson Pratt there to get it for the Bulldogs. Will play it off the boards. Pass intercepted and played back into the far corner. There to get it is Rosema. Rosema had it poked away. Grabowski will go to work for the Cougars. Here in the zone to my right, Cougars and Bulldogs just over half a minute gone here in this first. Bulldogs clear that all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Back there to play it is Kevin Patterson for the Cougars. Cougar taken down, no call, and they play it behind the net. Shane Kwiatkowski circling around in his own zone. He'll move it out to center. Back to play it is Josiah Lambers. Puck picked off at the line by the Cougars. They're in. Now a centering pass couldn't be played for Ben Clay. He'll take it to the corner near side. Behind the net, taken by Lambers. They send it. Puck squirts free into the slot, and the Bulldogs will move it out to center. Back in his zone and to play it. The Cougars' Danny McIntyre will play it. Picked off at center. Jackson Molesky taken down in the play. We'll head back into the Cougars' zone to my left. Behind the net, Cougars control. They'll play it off. Try to play it off the boards. It eventually comes up to Molesky. Molesky will send that down. Clearing attempt by the Cougars. Battle for it at the line. Molesky digging in with a couple of Cougars there. Puck squirts out to center. And the Cougars control now. A pass tipped wide of Clay. And now Wilson Pratt will dump it in behind McClellan. Cougars senior goaltender. This year he got a majority of the starting minutes last year. Now Grandville will regroup at center. Pass across A shot right on. McClellan makes the grab with 14:46 remaining here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Off that save by McClellan, draw will come to the left of the Cougar netminder. Draw won by the Bulldogs, and it's played right on goal. McClellan makes the save. And he'll cover. 3 seconds elapsed since that last stoppage of play. Draw again to the right of left of McClellan, won by the Cougars this time. Stolen now, pass right in front, big save. McClellan denying the Bulldog opportunity that came right off the draw. Now the play right down low in the Bulldog zone. Clearing attempt, Holloman sends it to Grabowski. Grabowski from the top of the slot off Fisher's mask, and the Bulldogs control here. Holden Pratt will dump it out, but not before he can avoid the hit by Ryan Rollins. Now, out in the corner, Kevin Patterson bumped up along the boards. He's out there with Shane Kwiatkowski. Cougars zone to my left, working in their own defensive zone. Puck held up at the line. There's Andrew Uturo along the near half wall. Players converge. 13:44 remaining here in the first. Scoreless game, and now Grant Quakendahl will dump that right in on Caden Fisher. So 13:37 remaining here in the first. Scoreless thus far. Live from Griff's Georgetown, Jenison, Michigan. In for the draw, it'll be Andrew Wormuth, the sophomore for the Cougars. Draw won by him. Play to the near side. Shively bumped off the puck, and the Bulldogs move it out. Jackson Molesky couldn't get to the puck, and Quakendahl moves it out to center. Off the boards, there's Wilson Pratt. Cougars control and dump it back in. Wilson Pratt, the captain for the Bulldogs, moves it up to Pullman. Pullman behind the defense. He had the puck poked away at the last second. Good defensive play there for the Cougars. Puck stolen on the far side. Playing for it there is Josiah Lambers. He's got help from Brendan Bourne. Now the puck comes up to the top of the point. Now a one-timer that whistled wide with the glove hand side of McClellan. Now that's poked out to center. Cougars might have a 2-on-1, but it was knocked away defensively by Gunnar Sudiski. That's dumped down by the Bulldogs all the way for icing. 12:45 remaining here in the first. So draw will come all the way back into the Grandville zone. Draw will come to the right of Caden Fisher. It'll be Jake Onstadt to juxtapose Andrew Pullman. In for the draw. Won by Pullman. Up at the point. That's tipped up and into the bench. It'll be Jacob Onstadt again in with Bourne, won by the Cougars centerman. He sends it down low. The Cougars captain in there with Rollins. It's free behind the net. There to play it is Josiah Lambers. He'll play it off the high glass and out to center. Skipped over Kevin Patterson's stick. He'll regroup in his own end. 12:21 remaining here in the first. Cougars and Bulldogs scoreless here in the opening contest of the 2019-20 campaign. Cougars play that all the way down the ice. Caden Fisher had to come out of his net to play it. Here's Onstadt. Onstadt, right wing circle center.
Oh, that was an ingenious move, though.
Yeah, Caden Fisher making a good save as now McIntyre goes in heavy with Bourne in the corner. Meanwhile, play continues in the Cougar zone. Now a centering pass. Here's Turcotte. Turcotte has it stolen by the Cougars. Here's Jacob Onstadt down the left wing. Cuts into the circle. A shot that went just wide of the post on the near side. 11:40 remaining here. Cougars will regroup at center. Moving left to right here in this first period That will be all the way down for icing against the Cougars 11. 33 remaining here in the first. Shots on goal even at 2 apiece. Faceoffs in favor of the Cougars 4-3. It'll be Matt Turco out with Harrington and Pullman. Draw one by the Cougars to the right of McClellan. Now a shot right on. Save. 11:26 remaining here in the first. Playing the Cougars zone to my left. It comes free. Along the half wall, players converge, and it's taken behind the net. The Cougars will play that off the boards all the way out to center. That will not go far enough for icing, as back to play it is Jeremy Rise. He'll send it off the boards. Cougars at center will send it right back in, and Rise plays catch with the Cougars. Now Rosema shot. Big glove save by McClellan. There's Rosema, let it go from right around the top of the circle. And McClellan stuck out the glove to make the nice save. It'll be Zudaniski out with the Rosema and Molesky for the Bulldogs as the draw was waved off. Bulldogs. That was Jackson Molesky got the puck right off the draw and fired it past McClellan, but nothing was to come of that. Now Rise up at the point. Rise will send it down low. There to go get it is Gavin Rosema for the Bulldogs. He's held up by the Cougars. That makes its way up to the point. Here's Josiah Lambers. He's bumped down. The Cougars control off the boards. Intercepted. Outlet pass intercepted by Lambers, and the puck will go up and out of play. 10:34 remaining here in the first. So, draw will come out to center, right on the Grand Valley logo at center ice. This Griff's Georgetown is not only the home for the Bulldogs, but it's also for the Hudsonville Eagles, the GVSU Lakers, and the Jenison Wildcats, as well as the travel hockey team of the Grand Valley Stars. Play resumes at center. Bulldogs dump it in to the near corner in the Cougar zone. That squirts its way out to center off of a Cougar stick. Lambers back to play it. He has it poked away and down. Out to play it was Caden Fisher. Now the Cougars across the way. Jake Onstadt digging in. Puck will come behind the net. Here is Holden Pratt. Holden Pratt will dump it all the way down out to center. Here is Rosema shot. Big save by McClellan right off the waffle board on his right hand. Now there to play it is Jonathan Dubnik. Play it along the half wall. Dubnik goes down. 9:40 remaining here in the first. Nothing so far. Now puck comes free to center. Cougars the other way. Here's Ben Clay. Ben Clay tried to get around the defense, but he couldn't get past Sam Rosema. As now the Cougars lose control, and Wilson Pratt will move it out to center where it's intercepted by the Cougars, and they'll dump it in. Out to the point. Zach Grabowski to play it. He'll dump it in. Tipped by a Grandville stick, and they go and play for it in the near corner. That's stayed in the skates, and now McIntyre. Danny McIntyre has it poked away. He's out there with Holloman and Grabowski. Bulldogs get it and send it across where it's out to center. Cougars look to control, and they'll dump it. They'll play it to the line and dump it in. There to play it is Sam Rosema in the near corner. Bulldogs working from right to left in your radio dial, wearing their road white uniforms. Puck is taken by the Bulldogs at their own line. Sam Rosema will move it out. Outlet pass to Molesky. Molesky will play it off the boards and out to center off of a Cougar stick. Holden Pratt sends that in. Now the Bulldogs are across the line. Here's Rosema in shot from inside, and McClellan makes the save with 8:17 remaining there in the first. Still a scoreless tie. In for the draw, it'll be Andrew Pullman. Draw won by him up at the point. Here is Pratt. A shot hit the goal post. Right from the right point, and McClellan owes his post something, I don't know what, but definitely owes his post something. Now the Cougars break down. Pass intercepted at the line. Now a centering pass right in front. The Cougars had an opportunity. Quakendahl. Now a shot by Shane Kwiatkowski. That was blocked in front. Now a shovel pass up to the point. Kwiatkowski, a wrister, blockered away by Fisher. Now the Bulldogs will play that behind the net. Here is defenseman Holden Pratt. He'll play it along out to center. Couldn't get past the Cougars captain and Jake Onstadt as he tries to gain the line, but he can't. Now the Bulldogs, with 7:28 remaining here in the first, will regroup in their own end. Here's Andrew Utero. He sends it across, pass intercepted at the line. Utero took the outlet pass from the Cougars and intercepted it. Now the pass turned over right in the slot, but the Bulldogs pounce right back on that. Now here's Easton Pratt. Easton, a shot right along the ice, sticked away by McClellan. 7 minutes remaining here in the first. Quakendahl move that out to center, and here come the Cougars streaking down the left wing. They'll dump it in. There to play it is Ben Clay, the Cougars senior forward. He's battling for it there, taken by Onstadt. Onstadt in the far corner, trying to get around the defense, but can't do so. And now Jackson Molesky will lead the rush up the left wing. He's across the line, pulls up the circle, a shot, glove down. Right along the ice by Ryan McClellan. 6:35 remaining here in the first. I'll come to the right of McClellan. In the Cougars zone to my left. Cougars and Bulldogs both have elected to go with 3 goaltenders this year. For the Cougars, it'll be Dane Schweigert, Ryan McClellan, and Lucas Chalfoun. Well, for the Bulldogs, it'll be Caden Fisher, Drew Harrington, and Noah Lovey. Now they play right along the boards in the Cougars zone. Cougars outlet that to center, picked off. Here is Holden Pratt. He gets it to Turcotte. A shot that goes off the high glass up to the point, but not out. Cougars finally got it out. Pullman belted it. Center.
A big hit there.
Centered. What'd you see on that play, David?
I saw a big hit there against the boards, right near the penalty box. Whistle was called. Puck must have went on a play or something.
Who laid the hit for the Cougars? Did you see who did that?
I did not.
Back I saw Andrew Pullman get belted right in the official circle, but other than that, didn't see the Cougar who was the culprit of that attack. Now, off the draw, the Bulldogs control it, neutral ice. They send it in, Utero down into the corner. Cougars take control there. 5:42 remaining here in the first. Puck up to the point. Cougars control. Kevin Patterson will dump that off, and the Cougars will bat that down in. Ben Clay and Drew Shively there to converge for the Cougars, but they can't get it in. Here come the Bulldogs. Here's Andrew Pullman. He's across the line, works down the left wing into the corner. Good defensive work there by Ben Clay. They go for it in the corner to a side, converge. Now the puck comes free. Here's Utero. Utero right in front. Turned aside by McClellan. It looked like it was deflected wide. Now up to the point. A shot. That was a big save by McClellan. Gavin Rosema providing the armament from the point for the Bulldogs. 4:50 remaining here in the first. Cougars clear that right in on Caden Fisher, and now at the point. Puck icing was waved off. That would have been a first. Goaltender being the culprit of an icing call. And a penalty coming up. Hooking will be the call. It will be on number 19, Gunnar Sudinsky. He'll go off 2 minutes, and the Cougars will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, this power play, the first power play of the regular season for the Cougars. See how they look this year. They looked all right last year.
Exactly. It'll be Zach Grabowski out with Ryan Rollins and Ben Clay to start the power play for the Cougars. Off the tie-up, one by the Cougars. Rollins up to the point. Now down low, Grabowski couldn't control Ben Clay. Almost had the puck poked away. He sends it back to Grabowski, who works down low in the corner. Cougars on the power play for the first time this year. Clay feeds it up to the point. That got past Trevor Rubline and out to center. Ben Clay will take the pass off the boards from Rubline and he'll cross the line at center. Clay pulls up, sends it to the point. Near side, Rubline. Rubline lets a wrister go, blocked in front, and that deflected wide, and the Bulldogs will control and send it down. 1:20 remaining on the penalty to Sudinsky. That's back in their own zone. The Cougars control off the boards. They couldn't gain the line, but that goes up and out of play. So with 58 seconds remaining on the Cougars' first power play of the year. Draw will be at center as just outside the Grandville line across the way. It'll be Onstadt. Tripped up on the face-off. Looked like he either slipped or he was taken down. Onstadt can't gain the puck in his own zone, and that'll be played in the Cougars zone. Here's Patterson. Kevin Patterson to move it out through center. He's across the Grandville line, and he'll dump it in. Fisher out of his net to play it. He'll backhand that to Sam Rosema. Up to the point. They play that down low. Here is Shively. Drew Shively can't get around the man. He takes down Wilson Pratt. Good hit there by the Cougar defenseman. Now here is Onstadt. He sends it up across the way. Patterson sends it down low. The Cougars got 10 seconds left on the power play. Patterson, a shot that laid right at the top of the crease for a second there as the Bulldogs get that out to center, and that will do it for the power play. 0 for 1. The Cougars are on the year now with their power play. Now they try to break out of their own zone. Onstadt couldn't get past, and here's his opposite number, Pullman. Pullman on the right wing into the circle, shot, save, rebound. That went wide, and now the Cougars will break out. However, it's picked off at the line. There to play it is Shane Kwiatkowski, son of assistant coach Joel Kwiatkowski. Joel Kwiatkowski had quite the NHL career. Now he's back in Grand Rapids, where he spent a little bit of his time with the Griffins. He's definitely involved in the Griffins summer camp. Now a shot by Ben Clay. That one right across the crease, and Caden Fisher, lucky it didn't go off his padded in. And now down low, the Bulldogs will regroup with 1:38 remaining here in the first. They move right to left. A pass went too far for Gunnar Sudinsky. And the Cougars, Trevor Rubline, will play it. The Cougar junior moves it to the point, but not out. 1:22 remaining here. At the point, Cougars get it out, but there to play it is Sunitsky. Now across the line, they've got a chance. A shot that went wide from Andrew Arturo. Now the Grandville Bulldogs dump it down. Icing will be the call. With 15:55 gone here in the first, Cougars and Bulldogs scoreless thus far in the season opener for both clubs. Last year, as I mentioned at the pregame show, the Cougars had a heartbreaking end to their season as they watched their hopes go down the tubes in the final 15 seconds of regulation in the regional playoffs against the East Grand Rapids Pioneers. Onstadt sends it up to the point to Patterson. Patterson regains a long wrister shot, blocked in front. The rebound, Cougars right in the slot. Another shot. Two great opportunities there.
Couple great saves there
Centering attempt. Nobody there
by Fisher.
The Cougars now up to the point. Kwiatkowski. That went off a Bulldog, and now here they are the other way. Andrew Uturo. Uturo pulls up at the line, drops the Cougar defenseman off his skate. Now a centering pass right in front. That went right across the slot, and a one-timer opportunity couldn't be cashed in. Uturo, drop pass in his own zone for Pratt. That's played up all the way into the Cougar zone, just under 20 seconds to go here in the first. In their own zone, the Cougars will play that off the high glass, and out to center. Here's a breakaway.
Look out here.
Shoots, save Fisher with 5 seconds to go. Puck played to the line and out to center. That will do it for the first period of play, as after one, the Cougars and Grandville Bulldogs are scoreless. When we come back, we'll have a recap of the first period, as well as look at the MHSAA scoreboard and the out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to the Catholic Central Cougar Hockey Radio Network.
You're listening to Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleves and David Shemblin bringing you back here inside the broadcast booth at Griff's Georgetown, where after one period of play, the Cougars and the Bulldogs are scoreless. David, what are your thoughts on the first period?
Well, Reagan, it was a very fast first period of play. There wasn't a whole lot going on, as we see only 16 combined shots on goal between both teams, and still nothing going on. Both tenders look great to start.
You're not wrong. Ryan McClellan and Caden Fisher both making a couple of key saves for their teams, respectively. Ryan McClellan turned away 9 shots in that first, while Fisher turned aside 7. As we said, scoreless through the first. Only one penalty to speak of in that first. It came at 12:42 on Gunnar Sedinsky. He went off for hooking to give the Cougars a power play. They didn't get any shots on that power play officially, but they did definitely apply some sort of pressure onto Caden Fisher and the rest of his defense. But that was a definitely an interesting period, really fast-paced and other things. Now let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the Grand Rapids Griffins. They will take on the Milwaukee Admirals tonight at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that game in about 45 minutes. Coverage will start on Wood Radio at 6:40, just around there. Bob Kaiser will bring you all the action of that game. The Detroit Red Wings are inactive tonight, but they lost yesterday to the Columbus Blue Jackets by a score of 5-4. They have now fallen to 7-14-3. They are occupying the basement of...
Bertuzzi looked very good in that game against the Blue Jackets last night for the Red Wings. 2 goals in that game. Almost had a third.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the Red Wings will resume play tomorrow night against the Devils. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So that will just about do it for the first intermission, excuse me. We'll come back in about 4 minutes time to bring you all the action of the second period here on Cougar Puck Radio.
Gigs. Now I have 24.
This is Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleaves and David Shamblin bring you back here inside the broadcast booth as both teams take the ice. We're just about set to start the second period of play between your Catholic Central Cougars and the Grandville Bulldogs. David, what do you expect from the Cougars to improve on here in this second period?
I think both teams have played great so far, and I think that will continue. Teams have been aggressive. They'll continue that, and hopefully we'll put one in the net.
Yeah, hopefully both teams will ramp up the shots on goal and give us a little excitement here in this opening night. So anyway, here in the second period, the Cougars will move from right to left on your radio dial wearing their road blue uniforms with white and yellow trim, while the Bulldogs will go from left to right wearing their white jerseys with maroon and white trim. 17 minutes are on the clock. We've got goaltenders ready. We've got scores table ready. Puck is dropped and we're underway here in the first period. Here's Kevin Patterson to play it for the Cougars. He dumps it out to center. Caden Fisher out behind his net to play it. Bulldogs lose the puck now right in front. Big save by Fisher. He denies the Cougars once again. With 16:43 remaining here in the second. This is the first time I've actually been to the Griff's Georgetown for an event. David, have you ever been here? Any thoughts on the arena? What do you think?
It's a pretty good arena. A lot bigger than Southside, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it is a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's a little bit of different atmosphere. That's what I like about doing road games. It's something different than the usual at Southside now. Play is in the Cougars zone. Ben Clay moves it out to Jacob Onstad. He's down the right wing. Into the circle, a shot right across the crease. That went right past Caden Fisher. Now up to the point. A shot blockered away. That'll go up into the rafters. Caden Fisher denying the shot from the point via Kevin Patterson. As I was saying earlier, it's definitely something different. You're broadcasting at different arenas, you get different vantage points. It's actually kind of cool. We're actually up in the corner of the Bulldogs. We're actually in the, as you're looking at the ice, we're in the right wing corner. Get a nice vantage point from up here as a shot went wide. Now Trevor Rubline. Rubline across the way, he sends it down into the near side. 15:55 remaining here in the second. Now right in front, the Cougars have an opportunity. That's poked away by the Cougars, or by the Bulldogs, and out to center. Back to play it. Here's Drew Shively. He's bumped off the puck. Kimball Sullivan, that was. Cougar Jr., this is his second year on the team. Puck squirts free behind the net. Sullivan taken by Harrington. Cougars in their own zone. Here is Danny McIntyre. McIntyre loses the puck behind the net. 15:17 remaining here in the second. Cougars and Bulldogs scoreless so far. Now a shot That's shot from the right wing circle, turned aside by Fisher. Now up at the point, the Cougars will play it. That squirts free into the corner. Back to play it is Jeremy Rise. He bumps it now, and here's a breakaway. Here, a shot, they score! Jonathan Dubnik, the assistant captain, gets the Bulldogs on the board. 4:56 remaining.
Just a beautiful shot there. And Grandville will take that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Jonathan Dubnik with 14:56 remaining here in the second. He got an outlet pass from his own zone, and he was behind the defense already. He got right in on McClellan and snapped it past the blocker, and it's 2-0 or 1-0. Excuse me. Gotta wait until there's one goal for there to be two. Draw at center. Taken by the Cougars into their own zone. Here is Kevin Patterson. They play in the corner. There is Brendan Bourne. He's in there with Kwiatkowski. Now they play it off the boards behind the net. Here's Ryan McClellan to play it to Kevin Patterson. Patterson will hold behind his net. He loses the puck. Now a centering pass right in front. That popped up, and the Bulldogs will have to retreat to center. 14:17 remaining. They're across the line. A shot right up into the paraphernalia of McClellan. Gunnar Sinitsky letting the shot go from about 5 feet above the goal line. Ryan McClellan making a nice save. David, what'd you see on that last goal?
Looked like the Bulldogs caught the Cougars off guard there in a fast break. Had the odd man rush and ended up putting it in the net.
Yeah, and it was a nice pass from the defensive zone. Turcotte making the pass all the way from his own circle, and that sprang Dubnik behind the defense, and he was in and gave the Bulldogs the 1-0 lead. Now Rosema works behind the net to the far side. Bulldogs zone to my right. That's free behind the net. Kimball Sullivan will dump it to the near side. Collision between Danny McIntyre and a Bulldog. Now McIntyre on the left wing. He gets behind the defense. In a shot that went up and out of play. 13:38 remaining here in the second. That was just the Bulldogs' 11th shot of the afternoon. Ryan McClellan had made a couple of stellar saves, but the laser from Dubnik on the right wing let the Cougars out of it. Now a wraparound attempt, and Fisher stands his ground. Fisher stands his ground, sealing the post on the left. Now, drawn to the left of Fisher, won by the Cougars. Pass up to the point, now is too far for Patterson. Now that'll be moved into the zone, race for it. Kwiatkowski gets to it before Andrew Pullman, but it is played up to the point but not out. Along the near wall, here is Lambers. Lambers moves behind the net, challenged by Kevin Patterson. A drop pass to Harrington. Harrington behind the net. He is pressured. Good defensive work there by Andrew Wormuth. Now here is Patterson. Patterson looks to move it, plays the outlet pass off the glass, but the Bulldogs steal it at center and dump it in. Kwiatkowski there to play it for the Cougars. Long stretch pass. Here's Quakendahl. Quakendahl pulls up at the top of the left wing circle, taken down from behind. No call. 12:40, and now a long wrister on goal, easily gloved down by Caden Fisher. 12:37 remaining here in the second. Cougars trailing 1-0 to the Grandville Bulldogs here in Georgetown Ice Arena. Excuse me, Griff's Georgetown. Now at center, Cougars look to play it out on Stott. Finds Quakendahl. He works on the right wing, centering a pass. That was just too far for Cougars right in the slot. 12-16 remaining here in the second. Puck behind the net up to the point. Trevor Rubline lost an edge, and here's a breakaway. He's across the line. Here's Uturo. Uturo shot. Big save by Ryan McClellan to keep the game a 1-goal deficit for the Cougars. Now Jacob Onstott with speed through the neutral zone. He's across the line, just barely offsides.
I think Onstott was too worried about slithering his way onside that he forgot about the offside call.
Yeah, Onstott made a move right at the line. He couldn't get there. He couldn't keep Wormuth from just trickling offsides. So with 11:50, play resumes at center. They play it off the boards. Holden Pratt at center. The Cougars wrap it around behind. Caden Fisher out to play it for the Bulldogs. Crunched along the boards. Puck is moved out to center. Here's the Bulldogs captain, Molesky right in the slot. He had an opportunity. Now puck free of the slot. A shot that just went high of McClellan. Now the Cougars, Holloman couldn't get to the free puck, and the Cougars look to move it out. Here's an outlet pass.
Look out here.
McIntyre trying to get behind the defense. He's hooked up, and there will be a delayed penalty. McClellan to the bench. 11:06 remaining here. Now puck free along the half wall, and it's touched up, and there will be a penalty on the Bulldogs. Their second of the afternoon. Cougars already 0 for 1. No shots on the power play. 11:03 remaining here in the second. Draw will come to the left of Fisher. Here's the Bulldogs go on the penalty kill. On their side, Patterson will play it off the boards. Wait, no, it's just a little far for his defenseman. Now up the point, Patterson has that poked away, and the Bulldogs might have an opportunity, but they backhand it all the way down. Ryan McClellan to leave that for Kevin Patterson. Patterson moving, sends it across to Onstott. Onstott, the Cougars captain, he's across the line. Down low into the circle, centering pass right in front. That went wide of the net. 1:30 remaining here in the penalty kills. It's dumped all the way down into the Cougars zone. McClellan will leave that for Holloman. Harvey Holloman behind the net. Cougars forward leaves that for Kevin Patterson, who will take it, shovels it near side Grabowski. He's across the line into the Bulldog zone, drops it to the point, but that was just too far for Onstott, as Cougars will have to regroup in their own zone. Trevor Rubline controlling, will send it a rink-wide feed to Grabowski. He sends it to the far side off the boards and into Bulldog zone. 48 seconds remaining on the power play. Now the Cougars shovel that down low. Cougars looking to break the shell of Caden Fisher. They play that along the far half wall. Now Onstott sends it down low. Bulldogs doing a good job on this power play to contain the Cougars in one corner of the ice. And now the Bulldogs, if they can get it down the length of the ice, can. That should do a lot for the rest of the power play. Rubline down in the far corner. Trevor Rubline knocked his opponent's stick away. Now he sends it near side. Kwiatkowski. That pass went off a skate, and Rubline will chip it out to center. As the Bulldogs are back to full strength, leading 1-0 here with 8:56 remaining in the second. Cougars dumped that all the way down the ice. And with 8:54 remaining here in the second, the Cougars will have a draw in their own zone. So it'll be Matt Turcott to play it for the Bulldogs. In for the draw with the Cougars, Jake Onstadt. Won by Turcott at the point. Spun down in. Harrington behind the net. He'll drop it for nobody in particular as Jake Onstadt takes it. And is played into the Bulldog bench with 8:42 remaining here in the second. It'll be Onstadt again and his counterpart, Andrew Pullman. In for the, no, excuse me, not Pullman, Bourne in for the draw. Now a centering pass right in front, they shoot and score! That's Andrew Arturo at 8:36 left in the second, and the Bulldogs take a 2-goal lead.
Whoa, this misfortune for the Cougars that cost them another goal, and they'll have to play from behind, now down 2-0.
Yeah, the puck came free right in front. A pass from just below the goal line, and Andrew Arturo capitalizes on the opportunity, and he snuck it past the blocker side of McClellan. It went off both posts and in. Now behind the defense, a shot. Puck was free, and Sinitsky now a shot by Molesky went wide. Sinitsky had a golden opportunity, but he couldn't cash it in. Now back to play at the Cougars. Here's Kimball Sullivan. Kimball Sullivan plays it off the boards. Quakendahl couldn't take that, and Sullivan will dump that down the ice with 8 minutes to go, and that will result in an icing. Assist on that goal goes to Brendan Hunt, the Grandville Bulldogs, the benefactors of fortuitous bounces, as the puck was free to the left, to the right of McClellan's net. He had absolutely no chance on that goal as Arturo just couldn't have it. Now Onstadt, puck was just far, Jake Patterson, and now that free right in front, McClellan had to jump it up, and now he dives for it and covers. Scary moments there for the Cougars, already down 2-0. That would have almost made it 3-0 if McClellan hadn't had the opportunity to get his right shoulder up on that puck. And then he had the awareness to realize that the Bulldogs were coming on him now. At the point, Arturo already got a goal tonight. Will circle back into his own end. 7:25 remaining here in the second. Arturo had speed, but he lost the puck at the line. And the Cougars at center. Sullivan will dump it in. No icing with 7:12 remaining in the second. Now pass intercepted, and the Cougars have an opportunity to set up. Now a centering pass, that one off a body. 7 minutes remaining here in the second. And now the Bulldogs have an opportunity. That's Dubink. Had the puck stolen by Onstadt, though. He leaves it for Patterson. Patterson, outlet pass. And here is Ben Clay. Centers, sends it across. Now Onstadt couldn't get a stick on that one with 6:36 remaining. Play in the corner. Makes its way up to the point, but the Bulldogs look to move it out. Cougars in their own zone. Here's Patterson. He'll lift it sky high out to center. And here is Clay. Benjamin Clay along the near side. Now they send it right in front of backhand. Fisher locks it up. And he'll hold on to it long enough for a whistle. 6:11 remaining here in the second. Cougars trailing 2-0 Grandville, an explosion of goals here in this second. A couple of fortuitous bounces have gone their way. And they kind of caught the Cougars sleeping here in this second. And at this start to the year, this is not how the Cougars wanted their first two periods of hockey to go. Now a shot that deflected right in front. And that was just tipped wide as Fisher was caught all the way out to his right and wouldn't have been able to get back in time to make a save had he needed to make one. Now play to the near side, 5:55 remaining. Now at center, the Cougars will dump it in. To the near side, at center, right along the half wall, the Cougars have to regroup back in their own zone. Kevin Patterson pressured by Matt Turcotte. He'll play it off the high glass and all the way down. Icing will be the call with 5:30 remaining here in the second. So the draw off that icing will come back to the left of Ryan McClellan, the Cougars senior goaltender. He has made around 13 saves on the afternoon as we get nearer and nearer to 7 o'clock. Kimball Sullivan bumped off the puck at center, and now here's a breakaway. Now a right on in shot that was whistled wide by Jonathan Dubink, and that goes up and out of play. Jonathan Dubink had yet another opportunity to make it, to cash in on his second goal, but fortunately for the Cougars, he whistled it just high of the post, and Ryan McClelland escapes a dangerous situation there. Grabowski in for the draw. He wins it, but the Bulldogs now right in front. A shot that deflected wide, and the puck lays behind the net. That was a beautiful opportunity for number 18, Brendan Bourne. He almost gave the Bulldogs a 3-goal lead. Pardon? Almost gave the Bulldogs a 3-goal lead with 4:58 remaining here in the second.
Draw will be in the right side of the zone, won by the Cougars. Shot in front of the net. One shot.
So play behind the net. The Bulldogs in their own zone, moving left to right here in this second period. Long pass that will go for icing with 4:22 remaining here in the second. As the Cougars trail by 2 goals, 4:22 remaining here. Draw will come to the left of the Bulldogs netminder, Caden Fisher. Draw won by the Cougars up to the point. Ben Clay couldn't get a shot on there. As now the Bulldogs look to break out. They're coming at the line. Puck poked away by Onstad. Here's Benjamin Clay. Can't get a pass in front. And now the Bulldogs dump it all the way down. Icing will be the call with 3:59 remaining here in the second. Cougars trail by 2 here at Griff's Georgetown. Draw will come to the right of Caden Fisher. The Bulldogs netminder has turned aside 14 shots on goal tonight, preserving a clean slate, and which has given the Bulldogs the opportunity to have this lead. And now Dubink across the line wrists a shot that went wide. There to get it across the way is Bourne. Bourne behind the net to Dubink. Dubink taken to the boards by Patterson, and his defensive partner Kwiatkowski has the puck stolen. Here's Uturo. Uturo sends it across and hit his skate and went out the slot. Now Onstadt. Onstadt centers it. That went off a skate. Cougars almost had a beautiful opportunity if they could have connected there, but alas, they could not. 3:15 remaining here in the second. Cougars trailing by 2. Puck behind the net. Ryan McClellan will play it as the Cougars break out here from right to left. 3:05 remaining here in the second. Onstadt will laser one the length of the ice. It will be icing. Cougars protesting that it hit their stick, not liking the call. I thought it did. Looked like it hit. Drew Shively not happy with that call as it hit him, and it hit him right about the red line, and he deflected it in. Also would have hit the boards, and I definitely did not hear it hit the boards until it hit the end boards down in the Bulldog zone. Meanwhile, play to the near side in neutral ice. The Cougars move that in. They're back to play it as Jeremy Rise for the Bulldogs. Now shot angle. Now Rubline, a shot that went wide. Now the puck will go to the far side. Cougars there to play it behind the net. The Bulldogs. Drew Shively in there, a shot that went wide. That went high. And now the Cougars will turn and fire that down low. Puck went up to the point, but not out. Bulldogs still trying to get it out, and they do. Trevor Rubline will play it off the glass and into the Cougars bench. 2:04 remaining here in the second. Cougars trailing by a score of 2-0 for the Grandville Bulldogs here at Griff's Georgetown. That face-off at center, the Grand Valley logo taken by the Bulldogs. Here's Holden Pratt. We'll play it off the end. We'll play it off the half wall and out to center. Whistle has been blown. Not sure what for. David, what do you think? Did you see what that whistle was for? Did you see what that whistle was for? Never mind, David doesn't know. You and I are both apparently confused. Both confused at that. Now, puck at the point in the Cougar zone. 1:39 remaining here in the second. Cougars and Bulldogs. Bulldogs lead by 2 here in Jenison, Michigan. Now Clay, a shot that was blocked from the point, and that'll go all the way back. Patterson will slap it off the boards and out to center. As the Bulldogs look to re-enter the zone, that's right in the slot. Uturo pass up to the point. Wilson Pratt couldn't get to that in time. The Bulldogs will regroup in their own zone. 1:08 remaining here in the second. A long shot from the point by Grabowski that went well wide. Now the Bulldogs will move that back into the Cougars zone. Clearing attempt to the point, but not out. Now they whiffed on a shot. Here's Onstadt. Onstadt, right wing, cuts in, digs around, scores!
What a move by Onstadt.
And the Cougars have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1.
And that's why I was the leader last year in goals.
Jacob Onstadt, who last year had 15 goals, gets himself one in the Cougars opener. And a big goal at that to cut the lead in 2. and it's now 2-1. David, what'd you see on that goal besides the breakaway?
His ability to deke out the goaltender, Fisher, faked him with the right and then went backhand on it.
Takes the puck on the right wing and snaps it short side on Ryan McClellan, and the Cougars' momentum is not. Uturo snuck that in right above Ryan McClellan's shoulder, who thought he had the entirety of the net covered, but unfortunately he did not, and the Bulldogs regain the 2-goal lead with 38.7 seconds to go. Now that's played off the end boards. McClellan will hold with 24.2 seconds remaining here in the second period of play. Bulldogs just recently regaining the 2-goal lead after the Cougars had cut it in half. Jake Onstadt making a wonderful play to give the Cougars back within one, but Uturo had other things to say about that. Now with a quarter of a minute, Sullivan will play that out to center, and the Bulldogs will regroup. They could not enter the zone due to delayed offsides. 4 seconds remaining here in the second, and that will do it as we end the second period of play with the Cougars trailing by 2. We'll be back. Stay with us as we will bring you the second intermission report here on Cougar Puck Radio.
Now, more of Catholic Central Cougar hockey on Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleaves and David Shemlin bringing you back here inside the broadcast booth at Georgetown, at Griff's Georgetown, where after 2 periods of play, the Cougars trail the Bulldogs by a score of 3-1. Lots of scoring in that period. David, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the pace of the game seemed to slow down. Obviously, half part of that had to do with the scoring in there. Seemed like the third goal that McClellan allowed was a very, very unfortunate goal for the Cougars. Excuse me. Right after they put one in themselves.
Yeah, the Cougars seem to have all the momentum after that Jacob Onstadt goal, which came at 16-13 as he drove down the right wing, got behind the defense, moved in, deked right, went left, and roofed it over a diving Caden Fisher. Cougars seem to have all the momentum at that point, but lo and behold, 9 seconds later, Andrew Arturo got a free puck in the right at the bottom of the right wing circle in the Cougars zone, and he roofs it over the shoulder of Ryan McClellan on the short side, and it hits the opposite bar. Had some gas on it, but it's just an unfortunate goal for Ryan McClellan to give up, and it shifted momentum back into the Bulldogs' favor. Cougars again had a power play in that, courtesy of Holden Pratt going off for hooking. That resulted in the Cougars' power play. They had no shots on goal in that second power play, as well as they fall to 0-2 on the night and 0-2 on the season. Ryan McClellan turning away 16 shots on goal, turning aside 13 shots on goal, allowing 3 goals, while Caden Fisher has turned aside all 14. Well, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. As you mentioned earlier, the Grand Rapids Griffins will face off in just about 10 minutes time against the Milwaukee Admirals, as the Griffins will play as the Admirals come into Van Andel Arena as the division-leading team in the Central Division, which is home to both the Griffins and the Admirals. Interdivision matchup tonight. That will face off, as I said, in about 10 minutes. You can listen to that game on Wood Radio 106.9 FM or 1300 AM. Bob Kaiser will have all the action along with either Lou Rabeau or Larry Fragurski. Red Wings, as I said earlier tonight, inactive, as they will take on the Devils tomorrow at 7. So that will do it for the second intermission here on Cougar Puck Radio. We'll come back. We'll have all the action of the third period here on the Catholic Central Cougar Hockey Radio Network.
Do you really want to study for that exam? Listening to Cougar Hockey is a much better option. You're listening to Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleaves, David Shamblin, and Gabe Groh bringing you back here inside the broadcast booth, where after 2 periods of play and at the start of the third, the Cougars trail the Bulldogs by a score of 3-1. The Cougars, that score coming as a result of Jacob Onstad. He had a breakaway on the right wing, cut in and scored on Caden Fisher, but 9 seconds later, Uturo, a sharp angle shot on the right side over McClellan's shoulder, and that put it at 3-1. We got 17 minutes on the clock, and we are underway here in Griff, Georgetown for the third period of playoff sides. Whistles the play down. Zach Grabowski over the line just a little bit far ahead of Harvey Holloman. Here. It'll be Gunnar Sunitsky, who had an opportunity in that third, a couple of shots on goal for him so far. And now on the right wing in his own end, Pratt will lift that out to center. Sudinsky, he's along the near half wall, has a pass picked off. That's to the line and out. The Cougars moving through center. Kevin Patterson, long wrister on goal. Turned aside by Caden Fisher. Now Pratt moves it to Willman. Willman, not called his name at all tonight, and shouldn't have there. Sunitsky, who had who had control of the puck. There's Rosenmel. Lets a shot go wide of McClellan as the Cougars zone to my left. Cougars moving from left to right here in your radio dial is a shot from the point, courtesy of Rosenmel. That went wide. And now behind the net, the Cougars. A drop pass. That'll move to the near side. That is Dubink. Dubink along the near side. Leaves it for his partner, Bourne. Bourne sends it across Rosenmel. Behind the net and around the boards. To the near side, and the Cougars control and break out. Here's Jacob Onstad. Onstad getting around the defense, but losing the puck in the process. Uturo, 2 goals tonight, and now a 2-on-1 for the Bulldogs. Here is a shot that went wide, courtesy of Jackson Molesky. 15-17 remaining here in the third. Cougars and Bulldogs. So a draw will come to the left of Ryan McClellan. Cougars zone to my left. Cougars wearing their blue road uniforms tonight. Now off the tie-up. Puck squirts to the point and out. There to get it are the Bulldogs. Now puck squirts free at the line. It's taken by Lambers, and he's bustling into the Cougars zone. Behind the net, Cougars take it away, move it up the boards, far side. It's moved back down low now, puck free in the slot. And that's lifted on McClellan. He covers, easy save there for the veteran goaltender for the Cougars. This is the second straight year as the starting goaltender for the Cougars. Main man in net, he led the Cougars last year in appearances over the senior Brendan Shively, who only appeared in 4 games last year. And now up to the point, a shot by Gavin Rosema, and it's up into the paraphernalia of McClellan. Pardon, that was Wilson Pratt, the captain for the Bulldogs, getting the shot on. And now it's Gunnar Sunitsky in for the draw. Cougars win it and control in the far corner. They move that up and out into the Bulldog zone. There to get it is Pratt. He's overpowered by Onstad as he picks up the loose puck. Now behind the net, that is Danny McIntyre. He's getting bumped as Sam Rosema gives Grabowski the business as puck is now in the Bulldog zone. Now a pass across. Sam Rosema will dump that in behind McClellan. It was too far for him as now the Cougars looking to break out. Now an outlet pass. Here's Clay. And shoots. He lifted that high. Benjamin Clay had an opportunity to cut the lead in half as now a shot that whistled wide. Kept it at the point. Kwiatkowski fanned on the pass. On stop. There to play it. The Cougars captain roughed up against the boards by Wilson Pratt. That's now at the point. Pratt will backhand that out to center. Benjamin Clay. He's across the line. Top of the slot. Tried to get a shot on that. Was lifted just wide. Now Onstad centers it. Picked off by Pratt. Now it laid right to the right of the crease, and weak shot on goal accounts for the Bulldogs. Now right in. A shot. Big save by McClellan. That was Jonathan Dubink as he had the opportunity to extend the lead to 3. Now pass right in front. They score! Jacob Onstad! And with 13:04 remaining in the third, he let a pass go that he was trying to feed Ben Clay. I'm not sure if it was tipped by Clay in front. We'll wait to hear the announcement on that. But either way, Onstad let it go from the slot, and it trickled past Rosema. Give the Cougars back within 1. David, what'd you see on that one?
Well, that was a pretty weird goal. Looked like Onstad just got a piece of it with his stick, and then got it enough so that it would creep into the goal, and now it's 3-2.
That was definitely an interesting goal for the Cougars to bring them back within 1, but it doesn't matter. Interesting goals are goals nonetheless, as behind the net, the Cougars in their own zone looking to break out here. Now behind the net, in their own zone, the Cougars lift that out to center. Here's an opportunity, but Caden Fisher coming way out of his net, and the Cougars have an opportunity.
And an easy one.
Oh my goodness! 2 quick goals, and the Cougars are back within 1. And they are tied with 12:27 remaining here in the third.
That was just a wrong move by Caden Fisher there. Came out a little too far. And that just shows you not all the time you want to come out that far.
Caden Fisher made a very bad decision as the puck trickled was right at the top of the circles. He went out to play it. He fanned on the shot, and I believe it was Drew Shively who got the goal. We'll wait to see. But if so, Drew Shively has his first as a Cougar in his sophomore year, and the Cougars have evened up the game with 2 quick goals. Now a shot from the point, tipped wide of McClellan. 2:10 remaining here in the third. Cougars and Bulldogs tied at 3. Now puck free right in the slot. That went wide, and it is played to the near side at center. Puck almost taken by Grabowski, as now here is Rosema. Rosema works behind the net to the right wing. He will spin it and backhand one to the near side. There is Molesky behind the net. Molesky working down low, far corner. 11:40 remaining here in the third. Cougars and Bulldogs tied up at 3. They play it off the boards all the way out to center and into the Bulldog zone. Icing waved off. Now here is Wilson Pratt. He will send it long off the boards. Icing will be the call as signaled by the referee. So, with 11:23 remaining here in the third, the Cougars and Bulldogs tied at 3. Draw will come to the left of Caden Fisher. The Cougars in this third period have 4 goals. 2 of them have found the back of the net behind Caden Fisher. Well, in one instance, Caden Fisher wasn't really in front of the net. That's the tying goal. It's now Jake Onstadt in the corner, in there with Ryan Rollins to the near side. Grandville Bulldogs will dump that all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off, and now a race for the puck. Cougars get to that with 10:58 remaining here in the third. They'll send that to the Bulldogs all the way behind Ryan McClelland, as with 10:46 remaining here in the third, Cougars will move out. Onstadt down the right wing. He cuts into the circle. Shot. Big glove save. Rebound late in the slot, and it's lifted out to the line and out. Cougars will dump that back in. Caden Fisher behind his net. That was in his skates for a second, but now the Bulldogs have it. Uturo will send it across and all the way out.
Oh, that was a filthy hit.
Off the boards, out right in on Fisher. Will try to play it out to center, and he does. No icing on the play. Back behind the net, the Cougars. Here, all the momentum in their favor as they just tied up the game on a fluky goal. 9:58 remaining here in the third. Cougars in their own zone have the puck. That will squirt out to center. Back to play it is Wilson Pratt. We'll send it in. Cougars regroup behind the net, moving left to right here on your radio dial here in this third period. 9:35 remaining. Cougars wasting as much time as they can. We'll send it off the high glass at center. Cougars puck free, and it'll be picked up in his own zone by Molesky. Molesky will work behind the line. He's taken down by Cougar at the line. Now right in front, shot blockered by Ryan McClelland, and a delayed penalty is coming. And it looks to be on the Cougars maybe, or is it interference on the Bulldogs? It's interference on but it's interference on the Cougars. I saw Lucas Chalfoun head into the penalty box, and I was wondering what he was doing. He's actually getting in there to open the door for his teammate. 2 minutes, the penalty of interference. Let's see who it was on Cougar-wise, but we'll get to that as soon as it is announced to the general public, as the Cougars go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight. 9:05 remaining. Now behind the net, the Bulldogs control up to the point. Here's Pratt. Pratt across to his defensive partner. Bulldogs going to work in the zone to my left, near side. Pratt will send it down to his captain. Now and the Cougars will get it to the line. Just kept in by Holden Pratt. Good play there. Now Rosema sends it Pratt. Return to Rosema. A shot. Glove down by McClelland with 1:24 remaining on the penalty. .8:34 remaining here in the third. We believe the penalty to be on Trevor Rubline. Now the Bulldogs win the face-off in the offensive zone. They're circling. They leave it across the way. Top of the circle, it is poked away by the Cougars, and they've got a chance here, but puck was taken by Pratt. He'll send it down low. There to get it is Pullman, but he's taken down. Interesting phenomenon I've just noticed in the crowd. It seems to be 2/3 of the way down to our end, as the Cougars section seems to be on the left. But wait a minute, here the Cougars. Here's Quakendahl. Grant Quakendahl clipped up high with a high stick, and there will be a penalty. Good job by Grant Quakendahl to sell the penalty. And with 37 seconds remaining in the Cougars penalty, it'll be number 22, Josiah Lambers, to the box for high sticking. As the draw it'll be Josiah Lambers to the box, and it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 37 seconds. A little bit of old-fashioned overtime.
Yeah, and 4-on-4 hockey, the best hockey to watch. It gives them a little more room to skate. Maybe the Cougars take advantage and put one in the goal.
You aren't wrong, and it's also few advantages over 3-on-3. It's a little bit more competitive, not as back and forth breakaway as you would normally see in a 3-on-3 overtime in today's age in the NHL. Good play, kept in at the line by the Cougars, right in the slot. Big glove save by Caden Fisher. Fantastic. He came about foot out of his crease to rob Benjamin Clay on a one-timer. Well, with 1:36 remaining here in the penalty to Lambers, 13 remaining in the penalty to Rube line. It'll be Onstadt in for the draw with his counterpart. One by the Cougars. Up at the point, they control Patterson. Down low to Onstadt. Onstadt working along the half wall, sends it to Patterson. Top of the slot, wrist is shot, deflected in front. And a couple chops to the back of Zach Grabowski as the Grandville players thought he was crunching too much on Caden Fisher. As Onstadt will dig in with Andrew Pullman. It is won by the Cougars. Patterson up at the point. Sends it to Onstadt. Onstadt shot. Save. Rebound. Score! The Cougars got it through. And that is a go-ahead goal at 7:01. It's now 4-3 as the Cougars have scored 3 unanswered goals. And the Cougars take the lead.
I believe it was Quakendale who got a piece of that one. As Onstadt let it rip, puck just laid there, and Cougars found it and put it in the back of the net again.
That was quite a turn of events, as the Cougars have had all the momentum since the start of this third. And if it is Grant Quakendahl getting the goal, we'll have to see. A couple of Cougars got their sticks on it, but we think it's Grant Quakendahl. That'll be his first goal in a Cougars uniform. Now the Cougars across the line. Wormuth had it poked away. Now a centering pass to nobody in particular, taken away by Sudnitsky. Sudnitsky off the boards and out to center. 6:33 remaining. Back in their own zone, here are the Bulldogs. They look to break out. Here is Wilson Pratt. He will wrap that around the boards. Across to Patterson. Patterson can't get a hold of it. Now Pullman, a shot that went wide. 6:11 remaining here in the third. Now a shot that hit a couple bodies in front. McClellan went down, trying to take away the angle. Now a wrister shot right on goal that laid in McClellan, and he will hold on for the whistle. Interesting on that it was Danny McIntyre, actually. Thanks to Gabe Groh for cluing me in on this. It was Danny McIntyre who got his first goal as a Cougar there. It's not Grant Quakendahl. Grant Quakendahl actually went and got the puck out of the net for McIntyre's first goal. McIntyre, one of the few freshmen on this team. He has given the Cougars an all-decisive goal here. Speaking of which, the puck actually was kind of weird. It looked like it got through Caden Fisher as he was right at the top of his crease on the right side. It looked like it got through him. David, what'd you see on that?
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like he got a piece of it, and then it just found a gap in there, and McIntyre able to put in his first as a Cougar.
And it looked for a second that it was laying just on the line as icing is whistled here with 5:30 remaining here. It looked for a moment as if it wasn't going to cross the line until McIntyre and Quakendall both converged. McIntyre actually punched it in, but a weird turn of events. 2 fluky goals for the Cougars account 4-4, and it's 4-3 Cougars with 5:24 remaining. Now play at center. Onstadt beats his man to the puck, but he has a stick lift. Good play there by Molesky. Molesky now powers right on in. Let a backhand go on McClellan as now a shot from Uturo right across the crease, and McClellan made a wonderful save on the Cougars, or on the Bulldogs. Uturo. Couple of interesting notes. If we look at the Cougars scoreboard this weekend, the Cougars football team will take on the Hudsonville Unity Christian team tomorrow at Jenison, actually not too far from where we are now. And that will be for that'll be for the state semifinals and a bid for the state finals at Ford Field next Friday in Division 4. Now the Bulldogs behind their own net. Pullman sends it forward to Turcotte. Turcotte almost had an opportunity for a 2-on-1 as but he was tied up, and the Cougars will regroup in their own zone. The familiar skating of Kevin Patterson brings him across the line off sides. 4:28 remaining here in the third. Cougars leading this fantastic game by a score of 4-3.
Draw one by the Bulldogs in their defensive zone.
Behind their net, the Bulldogs control. That's Jackson Molesky sends it long. A shot deflected up and out of play off of Dubink. So with 4:07 remaining here in the third, the Cougars have gotten the lead off of 3 unanswered goals. They were down at one point. 3-1 entering this third period. They have stormed back and showed why they were OK Route champions last year. Now a shot Dubink covered by McClellan. 3:55 remaining here in the third. Draw will come to the right of McClellan. McClellan has been on his game since the beginning of this third, turning aside what shots the Bulldogs have thrown at him. Well, time on the ice, the Bulldogs take one. Time on the ice, we'll take one as well. You're listening to the Catholic Central Cougar Hockey Radio Network.
You're listening to Catholic Central Cougar Hockey on Cougar Puck Radio.
Reagan Cleaves, David Shamblin bringing you back here inside the broadcast booth here at Griff's Georgetown, where a thrilling third period has brought the Cougars out on top here with 3:55 remaining in the third. The Cougars have scored 3 unanswered goals to give them the 4-3 lead. And those 3 goals have come in this third period alone. Goals coming from Ben Clay, Drew Shively, and Danny McIntyre. Now play resuming in the zone to my left. It's played all the way down the ice. It was tipped, so icing is waved off. There to play it. Back behind his net. Rosema taken down by Jake Onstadt. Now the Bulldogs back the other way. Uturo providing 2 of the Bulldogs' goals tonight. Bidding for a hat trick is now a 2-on-1 for the Cougars. Here is Onstadt. Right side. Centers it. Shoots. Ben Clay had an opportunity. It's a shot. Another shot by Onstadt, and he made a save. And Clay getting a couple chops after the whistle, but with 3:20 remaining. Here in the third, the Cougars still on top 4-3. That was a key save by Caden Fisher, keeping his Bulldogs within 1. Draw to his right, won by the Cougars. They send it down into the corner. There to play it is Lambers. Lambers will play it up, tipped out by Molesky, who's belted, and a penalty will be coming up. We'll see what it is. Cross check on the Cougars' Harvey Holloman. So he will head to the box, accompany that'll be a 2-minute cross-check minor on Harvey Holloman. Gavin Rosema wanting Wilson with that. He got one from the referee. He skates away somewhat satisfied. Of course, draw will come to the right of the penalty.